Hi guys, the Indian who speaks for India is back. Today I'm going to discuss uh, something which I keep hearing from a lot of people, and I also have heard this from politicians on televisions. And I this is something which common people sometimes they just pass a remark. So what I'm going to discuss today is that people I heard hear people saying that India will be a superpower, and maybe in 2018 or 2025 or 2050 people say India will be a superpower. Now I love my country, I love my mother India. I have been fortunately to many parts of the world. I have traveled to US, I have traveled to UK, I got a chance to go to Japan, to France, China also. So if I as a Indian would like to tell, would like to see my country become a superpower, I have to first say that we should first be thinking, when will India be a developed country? All right. So we are still a developing country, and we still have to become a developed country. Becoming a superpower will come after that. After India becomes a developed country, then after that, it will, the superpower road comes. So let us say, let me give you an example of some developed countries. United States of America, UK, France, Germany, these are all developed countries. And India is a developing country. It will take some time for us to get the tag of a developed country. All right. So, what are the characteristics of a developed country? Now, according to me, as an Indian, when I speak really good for my motherland, people talk about having a good economy. Definitely. Having a good economy is a major factor of a country is going towards the developed tag. Now, still, I was just going through some statistics, and those statistics still say that 70% of the Indian population is below poverty line. Now, what do you mean by below poverty line? Below poverty line means that the 70% of the population cannot eat 3 square meals properly. They have to struggle for it. Okay, so out of 100%, 70% of the population is still below poverty line. Out of this 70%, many of them don't have sanitation facilities. There is no water, there is no electricity for these people. I'm talking about the 70% of the population who is below poverty line in the villages, right? So a country who is considered to be developed, all right, more than 70% of the population cannot be below poverty line. There has to be some equality. So there is a lot of inequality in India, in our society. I am very much blessed to be born in a middle class family and to be born and brought up in a metropolitan. But if I really think about my country becoming developed, my Indian counterpart who is living below poverty line has to come to at least some level with me, not in terms of money, in terms of sanitation, in terms of having 3 square meals properly, in terms of having some uh, better health insurance. That is what. So if you go to United States of America, if you go to France, if you go to UK, you will find these basic facilities are there for every citizen. Sanitation facilities, proper food facilities, shelter. they are there for all citizens. Now, we cannot compare that I am having a Honda City and some other guys having an you know some he's not even having a scooter. That is not to compare. The the main thing is there has to be some sort of equality where a person has got who is born on this earth on in a country has to be given basic facilities. Basic facilities like food, sanitation, water, electricity. That is the basic facility. So that is one aspect of becoming a developed country. I don't know how much time will it take for us to reach that level. No one talks about it. 70% of our population living below poverty line, that's a huge number. Okay, coming on to the next point. It is very unfortunate that India is surrounded by troubled neighbors. Pakistan, China. That is not the case in most of the developed countries. You talk about US, you talk about UK, you talk about Germany. They are not surrounded by troubled neighbors like we are. So for us to become a developed country, we also have to be we have to give a lot of emphasis on security. Security, anti-terrorism should be like it should be a passion in our government's DNA, and that I don't see that. People give a lot. People say a lot. Why did 9/11? Why did nothing happen after 9/11? Why it happens in India? Well, it boils down to the DNA. DNA. If you have the will, now who will do it? The people in power, the people who are in power, the government. Government is responsible. Why doesn't the government set up? There is a lot of why. Even I am asking why. But that is what you will get these solutions. The solutions to problems are there. Why don't you take help from US, from developed countries on how to tackle terrorism? There should not be any ego factor. Already US, UK are at a certain level in terms of handling terrorism, in terms of handling national security. India is still at a very below level. For us, at least we should try to raise the bar. To raise that bar, we have to take help from the developed countries. Developing countries should take help from developed countries to improve in case of security, in case of anti-terrorism. You have to take help from the developed countries. It's as simple as that. Why there is no attack happened in US after 9/11? It's very simple. They have got a system in place. They have a passion towards that system. They have made a vow that we won't let for anything, make whatever happens, we'll do anything to prevent any attack. That type of passion should be there in our government, and also you should learn from the government. So that is how the distinction between developing and developed countries is also there. Other thing which I have noticed is there is a lot of disparity in our society in terms of caste, in terms of in terms of language. Like I keep on hearing that you are from Maharashtra, I am from Gujarat, I am from North. The Indian passport which we get, we are mentioned as Indians. It is not said we are Punjabis or Tamilians or Maharashtrians. So that is also a characteristic of a developed country, that you at least treat your citizens with some amount of respect. It's not that you have to fold your hands. You have to treat with some amount of respect. That is what I have seen in the developed countries. They don't go too much with casteism. They don't go too much with religionism. They don't go too much with this is he belongs to this or she belongs to that. So having mutual respect also adds to becoming a developed country. I don't know how much time will it take, but I really, as an a good Indian citizen who has been fortunate enough to be born in a metropolitan city in a middle class family. My parents gave me good education. If I think good about my country, I have to say what I have seen in the world. So forget about India being a superpower first. First, you have to see India becoming a developed country. Once we become a developed country, then we can think about becoming a superpower. I speak for my country, India, because I want good to happen to my country. Thank you.